Thus, while we are enjoying our dinner, we will be entertained by our special guests with the rendition of Filipino Igorot dance. Please help me welcome the Philippine Dance Ensemble to the stage. While they are preparing, let me personally thank Bill Kesnel, President of the Philippine Dance Ensemble, for gracing our event tonight.
Okay, I'm going to explain that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, we would like to thank OFT for inviting us to perform tonight. Tonight we are going to perform two dances. The first one is the Igorot dance, and then later on we're going to do a Muslim fan dance. The Igorot, as we all know, is a general name for the people of Cordillera region of the central Philippine island of Luzon. And today's featured dance, we are going to use the music of Mamang Surbatero. This intricate dance shows dancers moving their arms as though fluffing wings, which is symbolic of a prayerful attitude. The direction of the palms of the hands holds symbolic significance, as when facing the earth, it shows respect for the god. And when facing the sky, it is a plea for a favor such as good harvest, weather, or recovery of someone who is ill. So ladies and gentlemen, the Philippine Dance Ensemble of San Antonio, Texas.
That was a hard cut. wonderful dance number. It brings back memories from when we were back in the Philippines. Quite a nostalgic performance. Please join me in giving them another round of applause, please.
Now I would like to call on Elsie Cortez, board member of the Organization of Philippines, Texas, to introduce our very special guest this evening. Elsie.
Good evening, everybody. I have to introduce our guest speaker. Ron Ehrenberg was first elected to San Antonio City Council representing District 8 on June 15, 2013. During his tenure, Councilman Ehrenberg has focused on solutions to San Antonio's deepest challenges, which include improving transportation infrastructure, securing our long-term water supply, embracing new technology, and creating jobs. Councilman Ehrenberg serves as board member of the Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization and tri-chair of SA Tomorrow, where he has led the city's efforts to establish a long-term citizen-directed strategy for harnessing rapid growth in the region. He created the District 8 Community Academy in 2013, which was recognized by the U.S. House of Representatives as a model civic engagement initiative. He is a member of the Sister Cities International Board of Directors and the World Affairs Council. Councilman Ehrenberg initiated the city's first coordinated water supply plan, along with a unified strategy to improve wireless and broadband infrastructure throughout San Antonio area. He is credited with building a public-private intergovernmental coalition to save the world-renowned Bracken Bat Cave in 2014. As chairman of the National League of Cities Energy, Environment and Natural Resources Committee, Councilman Ehrenberg represents the city nationally on issues ranging from energy policy to water quality. He also serves as chairman of the Air Improvement Resources Executive Committee, leading the regional efforts to improve our air quality. Councilman Ehrenberg was also appointed by the FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler to the 15-member Federal Communications Commission Intergovernmental Advisory Committee. Experience in business and policy, Councilman Ehrenberg is a former program director for the Annenberg Public Policy Center, where he developed and directed award-winning civic engagement programs in cities across the United States, including San Antonio. He is also the former general manager of Trinity University, KRTU-FM, and the founder of 3 small businesses here in San Antonio. He is a graduate of Trinity University, bachelor's degree, and gained his master's degree in the University of Pennsylvania. Councilman Ehrenberg and his wife, Erica Prosper, a respected business and community leader, are proud parents of their son, Jonah. Let's welcome Councilman Ehrenberg.
Good evening. I I apologize for the extended introduction. I am told that at least half of it is accurate, so thank you for listening. It is a pleasure to be here with you today to celebrate a monumental first inaugural gala for the Filipino Independence Day with you all. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for your warm welcome. I'm honored to be here tonight to honor the history and rich culture of the Philippines and to commemorate with all of you the Philippine Independence Day celebrated tomorrow, or as we know in the Philippines right now, Independence Day. Also known as the Day of Freedom, this national holiday commemorates the day this country received its independence from Spain in 1898. As many of you know, my grandfather was from the Philippines, may he rest in peace, and he always recalled his home country fondly. I learned about my heritage through him and through my mother, and I'm proud to have roots in a country that has fought so valiantly to assert its freedom and independence. I want to recognize briefly the Organization of Filipinos in Texas, which was founded here in 2010 by Laura Allison and works to promote and preserve the Filipino identity, cultural heritage, traditions, social values, and to promote social kinship, neighborly relations with other ethnic representations here within the state of Texas. And Laura has been a good friend to me and to my office, and with partnership with the Asian American Alliance now, we hope to gain continued strength under the founder, Elisa Chan, who's a former colleague of mine. And oh, by the way, OFT delivered me the swearing in, so I am officially an OFT board member if I took the oath accurately. I also want to say thank you to my colleague, District 7 Councilman Chris Medina, who is the advisor of OFT and provides guidance for our community in many different fronts. It's good to see him again tonight. It's these kinds of organizations that help protect the rich multicultural heritage of the United States and help to underscore the importance of diversity, tolerance, and cultural understanding. Three things that we do exceedingly well here in San Antonio. I hope you agree with me. Thank you for the work that you're doing, OFT, and for all of the organizations that you represent. So, I was asked by Sid and by Noni to talk a little bit about the history of the Philippines and the work that its citizens have done, often in the face of violence and persecution, to establish the country's freedom. So if you bear with me just for a moment. The country was founded under Spanish rule for more than 300 years. Excuse me, the country was under Spanish rule for 300 years, which culminated in the Spanish-American War and eventually independence from Spain in 1898. We know that many countries, our own included, have fought to break free from the oppressive rule of a foreign country. We know that these kinds of exploits break down the integrity of local communities and they mute the inherent power and authority of the country's residents. Communities throughout history have struggled and endured, and the quest for independence and freedom unites people across history and across oceans. America and the Philippines, by virtues, share that unique bond. In 1935, the Philippines were made a commonwealth and were semi-independent. The United States promised complete independence by 1945, a plan that was eventually derailed by the historic Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. On December 10, 1941, Japanese troops invaded the Philippines and soon captured Manila. The paternalistic colonialism imposed by the United States was over, but American troops returned to the Philippines in October of 1944 and recaptured Manila in February that following year. The Philippines became independent on July 4, 1946, but corrupt governments continued to dog the young nation. To me, what's most important about the early turbulent history of the country with its vast resources, natural beauty, is that your ancestors and my own fought hard, fought rightfully, to reclaim their land, their voice, and their power to govern themselves, as Councilwoman Chan said. Your ancestors fought the Spanish and the Japanese. They protested imperialism, and they spoke out against internal corruption. Their struggle is universal, and that spirit of freedom exists still today. In fact, it's one of the reasons why we're all sitting here in the heart of the United States. Filipinos stand with the mighty few throughout history, and they stand with you as those who seek and endure to achieve independence and freedom. It is one reason why the countries of America and the Philippines are so closely tied by our core values. And it is the reason I am honored to be celebrating Filipino Independence Day here tonight with you. I'm working now to advance a city proclamation to honor the 260,000 Filipino soldiers who served in the United States Armed Forces during World War II. These are American men and women who served bravely during wartime, many of whom gave their lives and whose descendants continue their family service to the United States even today. They deserve that recognition, and I'm very proud that Councilman Medina is a co-signator on that resolution, and we hope to get it passed very soon in support. The resolution is in support of federal legislation to recognize Filipino veterans with the Congressional Gold Medal. The effort to gain recognition began essentially in 1946, but the effort was recently reinvigorated by retired Major General Antonio Taguba last year. And according to NBC News, the general's own father was a soldier in the Philippine Scouts, and we have representatives here tonight. They fought in the Battle of Bataan and survived the Bataan Death March. For many, the Philippine veterans of World War II have become a symbol of injustice. More than 200,000 Filipino soldiers were called into action for the war effort and promised full benefits, including citizenship. While those promises were left unfulfilled, we have an opportunity now to give justice to their legacy. According to news reports, I quote, "It's taken years of protests and community lobbying by the vets to force Congress to make vets whole, and then only to slow increments of health and pay benefits. The most recent victory was in 2009, where one-time payments of $15,000 were issued to vets living in the United States and $9,000 to those vets in the Philippines." Close quote. We can do better. I hope you agree with me. And we will. And I know we have congressional supporters, and we have advocates on the Hill. We have advocates in almost every city in the United States. I will continue to fight alongside my colleagues to recognize the courage and valor of our Filipino war veterans. I'd like to take a moment now to remember that sacrifice and honor those who fought for our freedom and for the freedom of others. Those struggles have paved the way for education you receive today and the prosperity and freedom that we celebrate together as a nation. So tonight, all of you, all of us, have a responsibility and an opportunity to carry that message of sacrifice, of freedom and justice, of service to others, and of fighting for the greater good. I commend all of you for your participation in events like this, and every year I'm glad to recognize that the seats get more full and full. We add more tables, and congratulations to you. You're part of a big party. Events are aimed at sharing commemorating our shared history, our shared culture, and the valiant and shared fight of our ancestors. Although progress has been slow, the toil of our ancestors' labor is finally bearing fruit. Today, the Philippine economy is prospering and considered the second fastest growing in Asia. Although some governance issues still exist, the country is getting closer and closer to realizing the dream of productive self-governance. So, in closing, let's be grateful tonight for the progress in our nations, here and abroad, and for this time to commune with our heritage and our joined communities. Thank you for giving me the opportunity tonight to celebrate the Philippines Independence Day with you. I thank you, and I look forward to the rest of the dance party.
Thank you. Really inspiring and wonderful speech. If we may indulge you for a few minutes, please, I'd like to call Ms. Laura Allison to the podium.
They gave me a script to read. I do not go by that. I would like all the beauties that were invited to come forward so we can
stay around you.
At this time, for your listening pleasure, I would like to call Mr. Eric Bonito for a very special number. Mr. Bonito will celebrate us with his rendition of Filipino melodies with his pantula. Let's give him a warm welcome. Okay, how about very welcome to Ito. Thank you very much for coming.
I gotta give you back the ticket. My wife had bought the ticket already. I didn't know.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. While we're waiting for the entertainment, if I could have your attention for a minute, please. Okay, I'd like to read the proclamation that Mayor Ivy Taylor gave on behalf of the Filipinos in Texas. Proclamation by Mayor Ivy Taylor. Whereas the Organization of Filipinos in Texas will observe Philippine Independence Day on June 12, 2016 and commemorate the Philippine Declaration of Independence from Spain. And whereas on June 12, 1896 in Cavite del Viejo, Filipino rebels led by Emilio Aguinaldo proclaimed the independence of the Philippines after more than 300 years of Spanish rule. And whereas founded on August 22, 2010, the mission of the Organization of Filipinos of Texas is to unite Filipino associations across the state of Texas and expand its network globally. And whereas during the month of June 2016, the Filipino-American community of San Antonio will host a series of activities dedicated to promoting the history, cultural heritage, and traditions of the Filipino people. Now therefore, I, IVR Taylor, Mayor of the City of San Antonio, in recognition thereof, do hereby declare June 12, 2016 to be Philippine Independence Day in San Antonio. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of San Antonio to be affixed this first day of June 2016. So I need to tell you that we had the honor of going in front of the council to have the proclamation offered to us by the mayor. And during that time, we had Councilman Nirenberg and Councilman Medina give testimony about the Filipino people as well. So I'd like to invite to the podium Councilman Chris Medina of District 7 to say a few words.
Thank you so much, and good evening, everybody. It truly is an honor to be here tonight. And I will be brief because I know I stand in between us and entertainment. So, and that's what tonight's about. Tonight's about celebrating Filipino Independence Day in our community, and we truly are blessed to have the Filipino community here in San Antonio growing. So let's give you all a big round of applause. Congratulations. And on one quick note, I do want to also honor and recognize the Filipino veterans that have served this country. We stand on your shoulders tonight, so thank you all very much, and y'all have a blessed evening and enjoy this celebration. Thank you.
Thank you so much. At this time, we are going to be entertained by Erin Ornido on his bandurria with Filipino medley songs. A big hand for Mr. Allen. You know that he is from Austin.
Now I'd like to call to the podium retired Colonel Noli Cabana to read the Senate on the State of Texas Proclamation. Colonel Noli Cabana is the Deputy Director of Region 7 of the Filipino Veterans Recognition Education Project, and also serves as a member of the Board of Organization of Filipinos in Texas. Colonel Cabana.
Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Good evening. Before I get into my serious note, allow me to sense a sense of humor. There was a dance just performed here by the Philippine Dance Ensemble, danced by the Igorot. My friend Jun Biaro said, "Noni, come June 11, dress like Igorot, eat with your bahag." I said, So I tried it this morning. My wife saw me, she was mesmerized. Said, "Noni, you better not do that. Those women may get attracted." So I did not use it. On a more serious note, ladies and gentlemen, there's a gentleman that we're going to recognize tonight who turned 100 years old. I believe that in San Antonio, he's the only sole survivor for World War II, Filipino veteran, who served in USAFE, United States Armed Forces of the Far East. And according to Carmen and her sister, he cannot make it despite of his determination to be here. So with that, please allow us to at least 1 minute of silent prayer on behalf of all our veterans, especially our World War II veterans.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.